Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope y'all are doing well. Today we are here talking about a new survey from Tamashii, kind of after the whole Anime Expo stuff, and talking more about shfiguarts. So as you can see up there, they've already got questions pertaining to that stuff, so let's just get straight into it. Now, the first thing here that they want to know is, what do you guys care most about when purchasing a Tamashii Nations product? Now, this is going to vary from person to person, of course. My 2 cents in here, personally, I like to have interchangeable weapons as well as effect parts. I feel like that's a big thing that is missing from a lot of releases, in my opinion. Sure, we get nice faces and expressions, and sometimes expressions for other characters in certain people's packaging. I don't like that too much, but I feel like we're getting a decent amount at this point. Hands and arms, I feel like they've been doing pretty well, and feet and legs for most characters seem pretty fine. If I had to add in there, Spider-Man characters, I feel like, should all have magnetic feet. That should just be standard. I mean, it's Spider-Man. You know, it's not like, unless they're stands, they start giving you magnetic stands. That'd be the other option. But yeah, I mean, clothing is whatever. I have to see them kind of get more consistent with that. But you know, using fabric and stuff like that, kind of feel like that's more Mayfix ballpark for sure. But weapons and effect parts, I really just love having that, option to just use it with most figures in general. Just if you've seen figure photography on like Instagram or YouTube or Twitter and stuff like that, you've seen how people reuse different effects and weapons from other characters and whatnot onto whatever they're focusing on at the time. It looks really cool, so I'd like to see that more, and hopefully that happens in the future. But I guess we'll continue to see what changes going forward. So moving on, to kind of preface this, now they will be asking certain questions like, what do you own, what have you already pre-ordered, and kind of getting into the topic of that specific line. So just kind of, I guess, answering this, the only one I don't have or won't have at this point will be the Madara, but I was initially hoping for a better one, so I guess we'll have to see if that happens. But here they have a whole bunch of options for you guys to choose in this survey of who you would like to see join the shfiguarts Naruto line. Now, I've got some on here that I would definitely love to see, but we'll just go through the list kind of and talk about them real quick, and then we'll go down to the next one and the next one and talk about it again. So first off, we've got 3 different versions of Naruto. Hopefully you can't hear that train in the background because, oh my god, it bugs the hell out of me. But we've got 3 different versions, one from Boruto, which would be cool to have a Hokage Naruto. I guess this kind of early, but we'll see. We've got the Naruto Uzumaki Rikudo Senin mode, and I was looking at this earlier and it didn't like really ring with me because I refer to him as Sage of Six Paths mode. Like that's what I've always heard. So Rikudo Senin mode didn't make any sense to me. So as far as I understand it, that is Sage of Six Paths Naruto. Absolutely need that, and I'm gonna click it just so I don't forget. Senin mode, I think, is like either when he was fighting Kakuzu, I think his name was, and he did the Rasen Shuriken. I think that's what it was. If it's not, you can correct me in the comments, but I for sure think that this one is the Sage of Six Paths mode, which by far is one of my favorite Naruto forms. So we will hopefully get that, and I can kind of understand why they didn't put another Sasuke here from that fight, because I mean there's not too much different about him, I think, except like the mark on his hand. So they could of course include that with Naruto to give to Sasuke, but we'll see. You got 3 different versions of Sakura there. Definitely want the Boruto version. Let's see, Sai, Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, Kiba, Shino, Hinata, Rock Lee. I definitely think he'll come eventually. Hopefully he'll be either I would prefer the Shippuden, but I don't mind the Naruto version because you could pair it up really well with the Sasuke. Let's see, you got Neji, Tenten, Iruka, Asuma, Might Guy. Definitely the needed. He's going to be great to pose with Kakashi as well because we already have him. So in the future, hopefully that comes. The thing with some of these ones that they'll list here is they won't list like a form. So I don't know if they'll do like the 8th Inner Gate form for him, or if they'll just do regular Might Guy. I have no idea. But yeah, Kakashi, Obito, At this point, I don't think we need a new Obito for a while, personally. Hashirama, any of the Hokages, I feel like Minato is just going to immediately win. I feel like that's a given, just if I'm being totally honest. Like, out of the old ones, at least. And maybe they do Kurama Chakra Mode Minato as well. Tsunade definitely has to come just to finish that legendary signing off. They did put Jiraiya here, so looks like there's a chance for him to definitely come back in a new updated engineering figure, with maybe some Sage Mode stuff, so that'd be nice. Kabuto, Kimimaro, Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, Zabuza, and Haku, I put them on my list because we need that as a double pack. We know that they're capable of doing full figure double packs now. There's no excuse. Definitely can come. I would love to see it, and it would make for a nice little display with the already Naruto figures we do have, assuming we're going to get Kid Sakura eventually, but we'll see. Pain, what I'll say about the entire Akatsuki is I feel like we'll get most of them. There are some questionable ones because I really don't know how many people care about Sasori, and if he'd even be like a full-fledged figure, or if he'd be like a, I don't know, barely articulated figure. You know what I mean? Like Goldo. I don't know. He just seems like one of those characters. I'm assuming that this is the one that is the dude that controls the puppets, if I'm remembering that right. So I just can't really see him being one that's like too popular out of this survey, or even in general out of the entire Akatsuki. So same for Zetsu, I guess. I mean, that leads to the whole, big finale with Kaguya and stuff like that. But they don't even have Kaguya on here. So do you really care about Zetsu like that if it doesn't lead to, you getting a Kaguya figure? I don't know. Or even her children or stuff like that. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. It's like, does it really matter? Hidan, Kakuzu, those two for sure make for a really nice fight against Naruto, as well as having Shikamaru. Toby, we're getting Obito, so I really don't know if I want Toby variants and Obito variants at the moment. Maybe. Madara Uchiha, they do that again, putting another figure here that, we don't know what version it could be of Madara, because it could be the, Madara in his prime. It could be Madara when he's revived. It could be Madara with the freaking weird face in his chest. Could be Sage of Six Paths Madara, like, we don't know. So I don't know what the chances of that would be out of the options. But then you got Boruto. And if you get Boruto, I feel like you got to make Kawaki or something that he could fight against in his time, right? Because, I don't know, it feels weird to get him and probably not really anybody else. But that's that. Moving on. Talking about the Bleach Light. And I will say, I have not watched all of Bleach. So some of these names that are going to be popping up on here, I have no idea who they are. Or maybe I've heard of them one or two times, or a few more, and I just have forgotten about them because they haven't been super relevant to where I'm at in the show right now. But you've got 3 different versions of Ichigo here. I know everybody's been saying they want like a regular Ichigo from, the beginning of the series, kind of that earlier on look. And I mean, seems like that's what you potentially got here. I don't know what dual Zangetsu is. I may have seen it, I may not have seen it. Definitely a decent bit of this stuff is going to be 1,000 Year Blood War versions, so keep that in mind. But as for some of the other ones, I'm not sure where they're going to be pulling it from, if any of the designs have big changes between different arcs. But you got Uryu, Orihime, Kisuke, Urahara. That's one I for sure need. I know it. You got Sato, Yoruichi, another one I need for sure. Yamamoto, we got him. I don't know who that is. Soifun, hell yeah, definitely need that. Don't know. There's gonna be a lot of don't knows here. Let's see, where's Kenpachi at? Kenpachi's for sure the one that I need. Rukia is one I need for sure. I know everybody has been kind of asking where is an Aizen at. I don't know what he looks like in the current arc, but assuming that he looks cool, I would be totally down for an Aizen. Grimmjow, definitely would be down for that as well. You know what is one? I don't see Nell on here at all. That'd be kind of cool to have a Nell figure, but hey, out of what we got here, it's pretty cool. So those are my ones that I would pick out of this list that I know from, like for a fact, who they are. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys would have picked. Now getting into this last one here, and I'll kind of go a little bit deeper into it. It's all the One Piece stuff. Now, talking about Kaido just by itself, they already revealed hybrid Kaido. So even if there was enough interest to get another version of Kaido, I feel like that should not be a priority because you already are doing hybrid Kaido at that point. Let's not throw like another big fig into the Play-Doh. Okay, that's just my opinion because there's so many other characters that we want to get to. If we keep retreading on certain characters, it's not gonna be good. At least in my opinion. A lot of people really want to finish the Straw Hats off, and if we're gonna be getting potentially only 3 to 4 figures a year, you know, they'd have to really dedicate those figures to just be Straw Hats and not do like, oh, one Straw Hat a year while you guys get XYZ other characters. No, I think a lot of people just want to have a steady crew, and then you kind of can break and branch off at that point. I don't think we should double dip too much this early for it. Just my personal opinion, because it's only been not even a full year yet, and we haven't gotten any of the figures yet. So to think that early about everybody else is just a little wonky for me. But if I did have to have my 2 cents in on what I'd want after, you know, the Straw Hats, definitely be people like Law from Punk Hazard. I love that look for him with the coat. Definitely gonna need Mihawk and Shanks, because those two just would look insane in SHF form. Ace, I could see Ace being a part of the whole Wano thing, since he did have some relevance meeting Yamato, which was a cool, you know, little nod back to him. Sabo had some relevance in the time that Wano was going on, with, I forget what the name of the arc is called or whatever event he was at, but he was there somewhere in a few of those episodes. So definitely there's a lot of options there. Blackbeard is one I'd like to see, but I guess it depends what version they're doing, what he looks like. You know, if they're gonna do like the Marine Ford stuff, then I'd like to see a white beard. But you know, you can only do so many big characters, I feel, consecutively. And I get the feeling that hybrid Kaido was gonna be a premium Bandai, and if he's not, then I mean, hopefully he does well in the general market to show like people want that. But I don't know if they would consistently do the big figures every year like that, because One Piece's scale with characters is just so up and down. You like, if you've read it or watched it, you've seen how big characters like Katakuri can be scaled to freaking Luffy, or you see how big like Jinbei is compared to, like, I don't know, one of the captains like Kizaru or something like that, or Akainu. Like, you see how big they are just scaled next to each other. And some of these other characters are big too. Like, Frankie is a big dude compared to some of the other characters, and it's just like, how are they gonna like keep up with that, you know, every year? I don't know, but they're gonna figure out some way to do it, I hope. So that's kind of my thoughts. You know, let me know if you guys disagree with those, but I feel like they definitely should just focus on the Straw Hats for sure. It just would make for having that roundabout group feel really nice. And then after they're done focusing on Wano, Raiden Onigashima stuff, go buck wild with whatever, you know, do the coolest stuff, but don't leave people hanging with like half the crew missing is just my point. Because it's definitely inevitable that Gear 5 Luffy is going to come too, you know, that's just inevitable at this point, given the fact that the anime is inching closer and closer to that moment, and the manga for the English version has already reached that moment. So, you know, we're already in Gear 5 territory. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys let me know what your thoughts are on the entire survey, what you guys picked, and yeah, it's in the description if I didn't already say that. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast with Bombastic Plastic AF as well as Cyrus. Many more of those will come in the future. Of course, we're all busy, so when we find the time to get together, we'll definitely do more. But with that, I'm going to end it here. Catch you guys later. Peace.